what is one trait that you're currently working on?
Patience is not my strong suit. If I want something, I want it now. Also, we are anesthesiologists, right? And so, if I need something done in the OR, I'm gonna do it. I hate waiting for things. I pay for overnight shipping on all my shopping online purchases because I'm I need it right now, even if actually I don't.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Scrubs to Stilettos with me, Dr. Nicole.
And me, Dr. Tiffany.
You guys, if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. You never will miss an episode. Plus, it's really just such a great way for us to grow our show. And we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yes, follow us both on socials. I'm at Tiffany Moon MD.
And I'm at Dr. Nicole Martin. And you guys, we love to hear from you. I really do try to respond to most of my DMs. It's very hard. But I love your guys' input. If there's a topic, a special guest you want us to have on the show, send us a message, drop a comment below. So that way we can kind of adjust our show. We're always happy to have your input.
Yes, we are happy to serve. And I think we've done a really good job of taking the questions and feedback that our audience has given us and pivoting the podcast, right? So we just want to let y'all know we're here for you and drop us a comment, send us a DM about what you want more of or less of on the podcast.
It has been a rough couple of days for me. I am recovering from my first episode of colitis, which kind of caught me off guard. So I am so sad, Tiff, that I did not make it to Lead Her Summit. I was supposed to leave on a plane on Friday to Dallas to join Tiffany for our second year of Lead Her Summit. And I was in the hospital on Thursday night and basically spent the last 4 days in bed. So I am so sad, Tiff, to have missed it. I have to say that I got rave reviews from everybody who DM'd me telling me what a phenomenal job you did.
Oh, that makes me feel so good. We missed you so much. A lot of people were like, "Where's Nicole?" Because you're on the speaker list, and people were looking forward to hanging out with us. We had talked about maybe even trying to do a live taping of Scrubs to Stilettos if we could find the time. And then when you texted me, I was like, "Oh no!" So you were very missed. But it was great. I announced at the end of the summit that I will not be doing another one next year. It really takes a lot out of me. The planning of the summit is insane. And I'm one of those people that if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it well, And so everything was meticulous. I made the seating charts. I made the food things, every single little detail. And it's just, it takes a lot out of me.
I can only imagine. I mean, you are such a perfectionist and you put so much into everything that you do. And that's one of the things that everyone was DMing me. They were like, the event was so fabulous. There was so much attention to detail. Everybody was raving about it. I honestly, it was so sad. I was so sad because I love the sense of community there and the empowerment that these women are there really just to bring each other up. But I was also looking forward to hanging out with you a weekend away from the kids, just a break to focus on me. It's so hard when you're a busy working mom to kind of have that alone time to focus on you. So
yeah. Well, I'm not doing the summit next year, but I am doing the retreat still.
Ooh, maybe I'll make it to that.
It's May 14th through 17th. It's 3 nights. And next year, it's going to be in Costa Rica at this 5-star resort. Everything's taken care of. We're going to do all the nature things, the coaching, the connection, the community. So maybe you can come to the retreat since you missed the summit.
I will definitely start looking at my calendar and trying to block off some days. But I figured since I missed Lead Her Summit, that we would dedicate kind of today's episode to reflecting on the women and the community that have helped shape us. And not just the women that we have direct contact with, but the women that have also shaped our life from afar, people that have inspired us and motivated us. Because let's be honest, sometimes you just need that little push, that inspiration, that motivation, someone that really just encourages you to take that next step.
Yes. Before we get started with that, let's do this week's weekly obsession. Do you have something?
Yes. So I don't know if you follow her on Instagram. It's dermatology surgeon. She's got like this big Instagram account. She's a dermatologist. Her name is Dr. Nira Nathan. And she's always like giving her like kind of like hacks for different skin conditions. What I love about her is that she gives really reasonable and affordable hacks for different skin conditions. So the other day she posted something about like crepey skin. You know, we're now on the fourth floor of life and we're starting to get a little bit of like that crepey skin on your, I don't know about you, but like on my knees. I look down,
Oh.
oh, what is this little weird skin on your knee, or kind of like here on the inside or on your chest, maybe? You know, your skin is changing. And she recommended this rock. This is a drugstore brand, guys. You can get this at like CVS, Walgreens. It's a rock firming stick. So it's a retinol stick, but it rolls like a deodorant.
Oh.
13 bucks, 15 bucks. So what I've been doing is I've kind of just been rolling it on my chest. I roll it on these lines here on your neck, and then I roll it on the inside of my arms and on my knees.
Okay.
Because yeah, you always think about retinol for your face, but retinol is such like one of the like really well studied compounds for helping your skin to regenerate. And I think a lot of times we neglect our bodies. We layer on 3,000 serums on our face, but maybe forget our inner arms, inner thighs, and that thin skin on your body that will change as well. So this is such an easy to apply, inexpensive retinol stick for your body.
I love it. I'm going to check it out. I have something from Lead Her Summit, and I have your swag bag still. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I had this company named Oleata make personalized wallet. What is this thing called? A card holder. My words are escaping me because I've been talking all weekend and I'm like, my words, I'm running out. But it's a card holder that comes on a little keychain, or you can take it off. Cause you know, sometimes like if I take my mini Kelly to dinner, my wallet is not going to fit in my mini Kelly because my wallet is this big. I have like my insurance card, all my credit cards, my like Costco card. And so I'll just put like my ID and one or two credit cards in this. So they put the Lead Her logo, and then they put my initials on the back as well.
I'm such a sucker for a monogram moment. Like if you
Me too.
monogram anything for me, I am going to be like a little kid in a candy store.
I just ordered these monogram PJs from a company online. So they haven't gotten here yet. But yes, I also love a monogram moment.
And sometimes, like when you, for example, if you have a small purse, a clutch, a mini Kelly, and you just throw your credit card in there, if you're like trying to get out your lip gloss, the credit card might fall out because it's such a slim thing. But that card holder is a little bit bigger and heavier, so it's less likely to accidentally fall out than just like a single card. You can probably even fold some cash and tuck it in there.
Yeah,
I love
for
that.
sure. Yay.
Looking forward to my swag bag in the
Yes.
mail.
I shall mail it to you. It's on my list of 87 things to do. Okay, let's get started with segment 1 about some women who have inspired us. We'll just do a little quick warm up here. For you, Nikki, a woman you'd love to have coffee with, dead or alive.
Okay, so this person left me speechless when I heard them speak. I don't know if you've ever listened to the Shonda Rhimes commencement speech that she did back in like 2014, 2015 at Dartmouth. It like gave me chills because she is like Mrs. TV, right? Like she is a TV goddess, producer, writer, but she's also a mom, and she is very, very open about the struggles of being a successful working mom. And she talks about how if you are succeeding in one facet of your life, you're probably failing at another, and it's okay. You don't have to win at everything at every moment, right? Like if she's on stage receiving an award, an Emmy, then she's probably missing bedtime that night, you know? And I think a lot of us women, when we're juggling a lot of things, we talk about how much guilt we feel, right? That if you're at one thing, you're missing something else. And she really talks about like coming to peace with that, and how it is okay for you to succeed at one thing and not be good at something, but then the next day you're winning at something else. And she talks about your insecurities and embracing it, and just kind of like being very vulnerable and authentic. And I absolutely loved that speech so much. Kind of gave you that like permission to to do multiple things, be unapologetic, be just authentically who you are. And I just feel like she would be a fascinating person to have coffee with.
I mean, maybe we can add her to the list for Scrubs to Stilettos wish list guests. Certainly, it can't hurt to ask what's the worst that could happen. She laughs at us.
What do you have anybody that you can think of like off the top of your mind?
I mean, there are so many. I would say like Oprah. I mean, I remember watching her on the television set when I was a little girl. Sarah Blakely from Spanx, and now she has Sneaks, which are these like comfortable sneakers with a heel. They're really cool. I have a pair.
Her story
Um,
is fascinating.
Yes, so fascinating. And just like these self-made women who at some point in their journey were told they were crazy or they could not. And they were like, oh, I can, and I will show you right now. Like I just want to pick their brain about, I bet they have so much wisdom that they can give to us.
What would you say if you had to come up with the best advice that you've ever received from another woman? What would you say that advice was? I'm sure you've received tons over the years.
Yeah, and now I think I'm entering in the stage of my life where I want to do less. And so the piece of advice that I've gotten recently that has resonated with me is that rest is not a reward. You need to practice daily self-care because I'm coming off of hosting Lead Her Summit. It was me and my assistant. Actually, my assistant got sick last week, so I was doing my job and her job. And I'm just in the season of like being comfortable turning down things. Like, can you help chair this charity gala thing? And I'm like, thank you for thinking of me, but no. Book publisher wants to know if I want to publish a second book right now. Thank you, but no, I do not want to publish a second book. I'm still recovering from promoting the first one. Like all these things that I don't know, me 5 years ago was saying yes to, I now feel more comfortable saying no because I want to be home more. I want to do bedtime with my kids. I want to be at every ballet recital, cheer competition, tennis match, that kind of thing. And I think the seasons fluctuate a little bit. So I kind of got a little, I don't know if it was a permission slip or what, that it's okay to like pour into myself and my family and that I don't have to take advantage of every opportunity that is offered to me.
I totally agree with you. I think that was one of like the kind of surprising lessons that I've learned from some women is that saying no is a leadership skill. People who lead know what they're good at and then they know when to delegate. And it is okay to say no when something is doesn't suit you, when something is too much, when you don't have the time for it, when you simply don't want to do it. Learning to say no is a skill, and it is important to kind of like set your boundaries so that you have kind of this peace and, this, it doesn't make you selfish.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
exactly.
us women feel like if we say no, then if we say no to that PTA meeting or with that school function, then they're going to think that like I don't love my kids or that I'm not interested or that I'm a bitch. But it is okay to say no. It is okay to set strict boundaries when something doesn't suit you. You don't have to be apologetic about it. I mean, you can be
Yes.
respectful, obviously,
Yes.
but
Exactly.
it is an important skill set that I think we often overlook.
What about you? Can you name a female role model who has taught you confidence by example?
This is going to sound so cliche, but my mom. Um, my mom, if you watch The Housewives, you know a little bit about her story, but my mom met my dad when they were in high school. So they had been together since they were like 16 years old. And my mom had never worked a day in her life until she was like 45. I mean, she depended on my dad for everything, right? And then at 45, when my dad went away, she had to basically figure out life on her own. She had to figure out the workforce, how to apply for a job, plus take care of two kids with like no money. And she really had to reinvent herself. And she did that with such grace and like a smile on her face. You never knew that she was struggling. She really is just such an amazing woman. And like the fact that she overcame so much without like complaining. She just kind of was like, you know what, this is what life is. It's thrown its, I'm going to reinvent myself. And I think a lot of times when life throws a hardball and you have to pivot or reinvent, a lot of people associate that with like a failure, like, oh, I failed at this. Now I got to do something else. But like, it's such an opportunity to grow and evolve. And she always took that and like ran with it. Like, all right, I got to figure this out. What am I going to do? I'm going to get into real estate. And like, she's amazing. And I am very blessed and lucky to call her my mom. So I am going to stick to that, as cheesy and cliche as it is. It's my mama.
Oh, I have never met her. You know, like you and I are always working so much, but I've never actually met your mom.
She is amazing. She is actually doing school pickup for me today because we'll be in the middle of our recording at school pickup. So she is such a great grandma. She helps me so much with the kids. I don't know what I would do without her. And like to everybody who doesn't have like the family support system, like easily, like readily available, I don't know how you guys do it because she is like my third arm.
How far away does she live from you?
Like 25 minutes.
Oh,
Not
okay. Because my mom lives like, I don't know, 40 minutes away from me. And I'll ask her to help with like school pickup or something. And she'll be like, that's so far for me. And I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. Like,
But she used to live like 5 minutes from me. We moved to the beach when we sold our house, but she still lives like 10 minutes from the kids' school, 5 minutes from our old house. So it's actually very easy for her to pick up the kids, but then she has to drive all the way to the beach, which kind of sucks for her, but she does it always with a smile. Poor thing.
okay, I have to meet her next time I'm in town.
For sure.
Okay.
What is one trait that you're currently working on?
For me, oh my God, one, I'm working on so many things. I patience is not my strong suit. If I want something, I want it now. Also, we are anesthesiologists, right? And so like if I need something done in the OR, like I'm gonna do it. And I hate waiting for things. Like I pay for overnight shipping on like all my shopping online purchases because I'm like, I need it right now. Even if like actually I don't. Um and so I'm working on being more patient with myself and with others, like my husband and my children. And I'm also working on, I think, just being a better communicator. I think sometimes in my mind, like it makes so much sense and I just expect people to do things and then they don't. And then like when we're teasing out sort of like debriefing what went wrong, they're like, I had no idea that you wanted X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, really? That makes so much sense to me in my head. Right. So I need to be better about getting the things in my head out through my mouth and letting like setting clear expectations with people.
I am going to like chime in on that one. So, I love therapy. I think everyone should go to therapy because I do think that, we all have like childhood issues or things that we can always like work through or ideas that we can bounce off of like a neutral party. So, one of the things that I recently discovered, which I had never thought of, but I guess maybe obvious to some people, is my therapist told me that I do have a small component of like OCP. So like obsessive compulsive personality, like I am very, very detail oriented. You don't want to see my paper planner. Like things are color coded and checklisted. And I can project that OCP onto people. So to your point, if I give someone a task and it is not done the way that I would have done it, I'm very like annoyed and irritated by the fact that they didn't do it the way that I wanted to, even though I didn't tell them how to do it. I just told them to do it. And this happens a lot with Anthony and myself, where like I'll ask him for something and he does it like in his way, which is not incorrect. But in my mind, it's like completely half-assed, right? Because it's not the way I would have done it, because I would have done it with like a bow and like glitter and sparkles. And then I get mad at him and it's like, dude, I did what you asked me to do. So I agree that I either need to like back off of my expectations of people because that's what leads to disappointment, or I need to learn to better communicate what it is that I expect from people, so that I don't get annoyed for really no reason other than my OCP.
Yes, I know. I think this is a common thing with moms that like, we want them to take the children for a few days or do something because we can have a work trip and then they don't do things the way that we would have. But at the end of the day, I'm like, the kids are alive. Nothing catastrophic happened. Like, okay, that's not how I would have done it, but like, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm working on that. So that is the thing I'm working on, is like letting go of like that concept of kind of like things have to be done the way I would have done them, and just being like, you know what, like it's not, pick your battles.
Yes, exactly. Okay, let's move on to segment two and talk about imperfection. One of my favorite books is by Brene Brown, and it's called The Gifts of Imperfection. I will say, as a recovering perfectionist, that book gave me the permission to even be imperfect, because up until the time I was like 30, I really wanted to be, or at least seem, perfect. And because of that, it kept me from embracing so many opportunities, because I was like, well, no, I might make a mistake. Like it's something new. And so I just held myself back from opportunities and experiences. And I only did what I knew I would be good at, which honestly wasn't that many things. It was like doing anesthesia and shopping. And ever since I've changed my mindset to one of embracing imperfection, I really feel like my life has opened up. How do you feel about imperfection? And do you have a story of a time when, you were able to embrace imperfection instead of holding yourself back?
I think this comes with like age and life experiences, because for sure when I was younger, I think especially in like my early 30s, like that transitioning from like, I don't know, not the teen years, but like your early 20s when you're still in college or whatever, into like adulthood and real life. I also felt like I had to be perfect, right? Like I was graduated, top of my class, I was chief resident. Like I was so used to always being like at the top of everything, that you almost always want to like perpetuate that, right? And if you can't be the best at something, you don't want to try it because you don't want to be embarrassed or you don't want to disappoint people. But having that mindset really keeps you kind of small, because your truth is that no one's the best at everything. No one's great at everything. And so if you only do things that you're good at, to your point, you're only going to do a handful of things. So I think like as I got older and I just became more confident in who I am as a person, I was like, well, whatever. Like nobody's perfect. Like who gives a shit? Like I'm going to pick up this new sport and I'm going to go out on the court, like, and I'm going to suck the first year that I do this thing, but then eventually I'll get better. And so, padel, however you want to call it, become very trendy. And all of my friends were playing, and I never picked up a racket. Like I didn't grow up playing tennis. I was a dancer. So I don't necessarily have the best hand-eye coordination, but I really wanted to play because all my friends were playing. Girl, the first time I picked up a racket and I played with my girlfriends, I was like mortified. They would hit the ball and like I would just swing and miss. Like it was just, I was like, I may as well have not been on the court because I did not return a single ball. I was inside, I was cringing and mortified, but they were so great. They were like, it's okay. We were all there. Keep going, whatever. I got a private coach. I started doing lessons. I started doing clinics. And I actually played in my first tournament like a month ago. We did it.
Oh,
We played 6 matches. We lost 5. We won 1. The lady that we beat was like 85 years old. So, I mean, but you know what? I had the best time, and I'm going to play in another tournament next month. And so it was kind of like, you know what? Life is too short to be that serious. Like if you make everything such a big deal and I'm going to be embarrassed and then they're going to, no, your life is just going to pass you by, Like you kind of just have to take these opportunities and like just have fun with it, because really like if you're not having fun, what are you doing?
yeah, but I did used to be that serious, like with everything. And I used to care so much. And I think you're right. I think it's some combination of age, which also correlates with experience. And you're just like, it's not that serious, right? But it's funny, like looking back when on my 25-year-old self, like how much I really cared.
I wonder how much of it is, I don't know, like when you're 25 or early 30s, you feel like you've got like so many years ahead of you, right? Like you feel so young. And something about like turning 40 makes you realize like, oh crap, like we're not young anymore. Like we're getting closer to old than we are to young. And so it kind of makes you just like appreciate life. And you start to be like, man, life is short. Your parents start to get sick at this stage. You start seeing more of like real life happening around you. And I think it really just makes you aware that time is limited and health is limited, and you kind of just have to enjoy the things that you have. So I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know what it is that happens at 40, but this is a conversation I've had with all of my girlfriends where like they turn 40 and they're kind of like, yeah, no more bullshit. Like, I'm going to go do that thing. I'm going to tell that friend I don't want to be friends anymore. I'm going to send that husband to go fly a kite. Like, it's just this like amazing age of self-awareness, and it's kind of awesome.
I love it. Someone told me like an analogy once that for every decade of your life, that's how many miles per hour it seems like you're going. So when you're 20 years old, you're going 20 miles per hour, which is like school zone, very safe. Like if anything jumps out, you could immediately stop and be fine. So by the time you're 40 miles per hour is, not highway speed, but it's like we're going. And then you get to be like, 60 and 80 and when you're 80 everything's going 80 miles per hour and it's so fast and I'm like, this is such a sad analogy.
Well, I'm happy to know that we're not at highway speed yet, but yes, definitely at a speed where you're just kind of like, I'm just going to enjoy this joyride.
Yeah, back to this part. Let's talk about women who lift as they climb, which literally is why I started Lead Her Summit. Because when I started as a female entrepreneur, right, and I knew nothing about business because I had gone to medical school, there were certain women who were very willing to help me. They were like, girl, if you're going to start a product-based business where you have a physical product such as candles, you better make sure that you have a great inventory system. You better make sure that you keep your cost of goods sold on check and all this stuff and all this mentorship. And I was just like, wow, like they saved me so much trouble by anticipating the problems I was going to have and like preemptively solving them before I could even have them. You know what I mean? Do you have a time in your life where a woman ahead of you like really looked behind her and held her hand out to lift you up?
I do. And just to go back a second, like one thing that I will never, just because it's not like, it's not who I am, it doesn't align with my personality, I will never understand this like competition over community kind of attitude. Like, I DM'd someone who I would consider to be like a friend. I mean, I could have texted her, but she had posted something. Her skin looked amazing. Like, this is just an example of how like stupid people can be. I DM'd her. I was like, man, your skin looks amazing. I've been struggling with melasma. Like, if you have like any recommendations for like a great dermatologist or a laser treatment or whatever, send it my way. Red. I could see the red symbol. And she's like, oh yeah, I've done a little tweakments. And that's crickets. I'm like, yeah, no shit. You did some tweakments. I can tell. You look amazing. Can you share? Like, what did you do? And then I just think about like all the dumb shit that people, like random people will message me, like, where are your glasses from? I'm like, they're from here. Well, who did your boobs? Dr. Jaime Flores. Like, I'm so quick to like, yeah, this was great. Don't do this. Here's my workout. This is what I like. Why? Do you think that if like you go do your boobs with my doctor, no one's going to look at my boobs? Like, what? Why? What?
It all comes down to a mindset thing, right? And the way someone explained it to me is that, like Carol Dweck, right? She talks about a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. If you believe that like more of something for someone else is somehow less of it for you, then you will act accordingly. If you live in an abundance mindset where you're like, if I give the name of my treatments for my face or my business advice to these other women, like maybe when they learn something, they'll share it with me or whatever. If you live in that mind of abundance where there's enough to go around, then you act accordingly. But it's just mindset, which is why I've been doing so much mindset work. My husband is like, are you going to go to any more conferences this year? Because I am now a professional conference goer. And I will say it probably all started, I don't know, maybe with like a little Tony Robbins, something, something. And then this year I have gone to 7 professional development conferences, not ASA. Like I did not go to ASA this year. I had a talk at ASA and I was so overwhelmed. And then I got sick like the week before ASA. And I literally gave my talk to a junior faculty member because I knew that she was already going to the meeting. So she wouldn't have to, buy last minute plane tickets, and that it would help her CV for her to say on there that she gave a talk at a national anesthesia meeting. So I literally texted her and was like, would you like to give this talk about this topic? Because I'm not feeling well. I'm really overwhelmed. You're already going. And she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So not only did I get something off my plate, but I like helped advance another female professor. But I went to all these other conferences and I still have one more in December. But because I go to these conferences, I meet these entrepreneurs, and my mindset is just so overly abundant that I would never act like this girl there. It's just her mindset's not in the right place. That's all.
I don't know. I've always just thought that there's enough sun for everybody to shine, right? Like me helping you with your business or me helping you. You know how many people DM me or text me like, hey, I'm thinking about auditioning for the Housewives. Can I pick
Yes.
you about it? Do you know how many
I
companies
get that too.
have every year when they're casting about the Housewives? And I always say, I'm happy to chat. Ask me whatever you want. Because I always, one, I want to help people and be honest about the experience so that they can make a wise choice and informed decision. They're not caught off guard. But I also reflect back on when I was in their position, how beneficial it was to pick your brain. I slid into your DMs. We talked on the phone for 2 hours. And it's like, spread the wealth, guys. Like, you don't have to hoard like all your skills and your tricks and everything. Like, I don't get it. But you asked me a question, if I can remember a time or a person that mentored me and it helped me. And I remember in undergrad, I was a freshman. I had just started undergrad, just graduated high school. I graduated high school early like you, not quite as early as you, but I was 16 starting college. I was a biochemistry major, and you're kind of like lost. You went from like being in one building to now being in this huge campus in a classroom with 300 people for biochem 1 or chem 1 or all these classes. It is very overwhelming, especially at such a young age. And I remember walking into my biochem class and I could not understand, when I tell you, like a word that the professor said. He had such a heavy accent. And I was like, what the F? Like, how am I supposed to pass this class? I have no idea what this man is saying. Like, cannot understand whatever. So I went to my student advisor, who was like, I don't know, 3 years older than me, not a substantial age difference. And she was like, oh, Dr. Wren, trust me, I know everyone struggles with his class. This is what you're going to do. She's like, he's got office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4:30 to 5 or whatever. You're going to go to his class, office hours every single week, and you're going to sit in his office. He goes over all the things, whatever. She gave me all this advice. And then she's like, he's also looking for a student aide in his lab. All of these things. So she basically gave me this roadmap to how to navigate this super hard class. I became Dr. Wren's like favorite student. I worked in his lab. For like my 3 years of undergrad. I had like a work study job. He ended up writing one of my letters of recommendation for college, for medical school. Like, this girl could have just been like, yeah, struggle like everybody else. But she went like above and beyond to give me the recipe of success for this, class. And basically it ended up being kind of like a critical part of my undergraduate career, because this person ended up mentoring me, writing me one of my letters of recommendation for medical school. It really kind of like carved my undergrad experience. And she didn't have to, but she like made it a point to kind of give me all the golden nuggets. And it was huge. It was huge for me.
Yeah. And then the thing is, like, not that it's tit for tat, but like if she ever needed something and called on you to help, of course you are going to go above and beyond, out of your way to help her because of your gratitude to her. You know what I mean? And I just think it's also just like good karma.
Absolutely. I totally believe that like what you put into the universe, you get back. If you're like a shady, unhelpful, like one of these like people that doesn't want to help others, you know what? There's going to come a point in time where you need help. It's going to happen to everybody. It happens to the best of the best, the richest of the richest. You're not going to be on top forever. At some point, you're going to need someone's help for something. And the world is going to be willing to help you and put the right people in your life at that moment if you've given back. Like, it's just kind of the way things work.
Yes. So, as we wrap up, I would love to give our listeners a little piece of homework, which I realize is not what we typically do. But I want to challenge everyone that's listening right now to do something for someone else, hopefully, another woman or someone that maybe is just like, a little bit down and out right now. And just I don't know, do something and try to go out of your way a little bit to uplift or empower them or reach out with a little special message, because the world is crazy right now. And I think that all of us could help by just uplifting each other a tiny bit more.
Yeah, and look, it doesn't have to be this grand gesture, right? Like, I sometimes people think that, like, to make a change or to make an impact, it needs to be this grandiose gesture, and it doesn't. Sometimes, honestly, it's the smallest things. Like, you could be having the worst day and be stressed out about something, and then someone will, like, send you a text message that's like, "Hey, I just thought of you. I hope you're doing well." And that, like, for those 5 seconds or 10 seconds that you're reading that text message, it's like you kind of smile to yourself. Like, I don't know if you've ever gotten one of those texts and you're like, oh, that was nice. And then after you finish reading it, you kind of realize, like, your mood's a little lighter and it kind of shifted your energy for that moment. And then you kind of walk a little taller after that. It could be something as small as a text message, something nice. Like, I always love when I'm at line at, like, a coffee shop or something, and then they're like, oh, the person in front of you paid for your coffee order. I'm like, oh,
Okay,
that's
that shit never happens to me. I have never had my coffee paid for. I know this is like a thing. I be up at Starbucks. I go to La La Land to get matcha. I am just really unlucky because I get to the cash register and no one has ever said that to me.
no. And then I'll be like, oh, is it a dude? And it's not even a guy, like, trying to hit on you, right? It's just like, and then I'll ask the cash register, I'm like, oh, has this been like a thing? And she's like, this is like the fifth car that's done it. And then you're like, oh, how fun. Let me buy the coffee behind me. And it's just like, kind of restores your faith in, like, humanity for a minute. It's like,
I mean, you definitely cannot be the person that breaks the chain, because then you're an asshole and you're going to get in a car accident that day. You know what I mean? I would be so scared. I mean, of course, I want to do it anyway, but also I would be so scared to be like, oh no, I don't want to pay for the person behind me. Like, who does that? You know what I mean?
yeah, it's just, I don't know. I do feel like in a time where, like, everything is so dark, like, you put
Yeah,
on the
that's
TV
what I
and it's
mean.
like so toxic and people are fighting and there's shootings and there's wars and there's political drama and there's all of these things. Like, if you could be the reason that someone smiles, like, why not? Get into an
Yeah.
elevator, say good morning, everyone, have a great day. Like,
Okay, that's too much. That's too much. We're not doing all that. I'm not speaking to strangers in elevators. That's where I stop. I will smile at people, but I'm a non-talker. Usually because I'm like mid-email or text message and like working through something in my brain. But I'm not a talker.
I think that's so cute when someone's like, bye guys, have a good day. I'm like, oh.
Oh, I'm always like, what SSRI are they on? And I need to tell my psychiatrist so she can switch me. Like the person that's like whistling through the hallway and smiling at everyone. I'm like, sir, what are you on? What dopamine enhancing pharmacologic agent are you on so that I can also get some?
Well, listen, whatever it is, whether you just want to smile, buy someone a cup of coffee, say have a good day, or send a friendly text message, be the reason that someone smiles today, guys. If we didn't tell our listeners, you guys, if you haven't already done so, like, hit subscribe. You never will miss an episode. Plus, it's really just such a great way for us to grow our show. And we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yes, follow us both on socials. I'm at Tiffany Moon MD.
And I'm at Dr. Nicole Martin. And you guys, we love to hear from you. I really do try to, like, respond to most of my DMs. It's very hard. But I love your guys' input. If there's a topic, a special guest you want us to have on the show, send us a message, drop a comment below. So that way we can kind of, like, adjust our show. We're always happy to have your input.
Yes, we are happy to serve. And I think we've done a really good job of taking the questions and feedback that our audience has given us and like pivoting the podcast, right? So we just want to let y'all know we're here for you, and like, drop us a comment, send us a DM about what you want more of or less of on the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.